Welcome back to a video lesson for Chapter 1, Lesson 3, covering integers and absolute value. As always, think about, what do I already know? What sounds familiar to me from the words integers and absolute value? With your learning target today being that you can compare integers and evaluate expressions with absolute value. So you have prior knowledge. See if you can think about what that is, and then join me for the rest. Remember, you can pause wherever you feel necessary, never chasing as you write. So integers, little vocab word here. Integers are whole numbers and their opposites. So we know our whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. The opposites of those are just the negatives. So -1, -2, -3, and so on. So not fractions, but the whole numbers and their opposites. If you recall also, absolute value is the distance between a number and 0 on a number line. So the trick here is that this is always positive. So it doesn't matter which direction a number is, it's just how many units, how many full numbers from 0 is it. So numbers that are to the left of 0 on a number line are less than 0. I like to think left is less. Nice little rhyme there. Numbers that are to the right of 0 on a number line are greater than 0. So that's a little vocab for us, little trick to go back to check, but let's look at what that means. So we know that numbers to the left of 0 are less. So the further left we go, the smaller they are. Numbers to the right are greater. Oopsie. And we know that because we count from left to right and as we go up. So now this is a little bit trickier for us, is remembering how we read left to right. So knowing that we read left to right, we have to keep this in mind. You read left to right. You might want to write that down. Left to right. So sometimes when we see symbols, people suddenly want to read right to left. So I know that this is red when we have it facing the left. That means what is on the left is greater than what's on the right. When it's facing the right, what is on the left is less than what's on the right. So keeping that in mind, we read left to right. So reading this, I read -5 is what compared to 4? Well, I know that on a number line, -5's here, 4 is here. -5 is further left, so it's less than 4. A symbol for that then would be -5 is less than 4, reading left to right. That would mean then that 4, if you read it the other way, left to right, 4 is greater than -5. So a lot of you learned the alligator eats a bigger number, sure, but you have to read it left to right. So let's quick and compare integers. Comparing, right, just saying where one lies in comparison to the other. So graphing them on a number line just looks like plotting a point. So here we have -2 compared to -4. Well, 0, we know negatives are left, so I'm going to go left 2 for -2, and I'm going to go left 4 for -4. Knowing left is less, so this says since -2 is to the right of -4, since it's further right, it's greater than, right? So -2 is greater than -4. Some of you, make sure you're filling in so you can't change the order. If it was written differently, if it was written -4 compared to -2, well, it'd read backwards, right? -4 is less than -2. If you feel ready, go ahead and check your progress, try these ones. So we're trying to plot these they're already plotted for us, so how do we complete the sentence? -3 is what compared to 2? Well, -3 is further left, so it is less. -5 compared to -6. 5 is further right, so it's greater than. -1 is left of +1, So left is less. It's really that simple, just reading it out loud and then making sure you read it back to yourself to see that it matches. Moving on, absolute value. The distance a number is from 0. Love this stuff. So the symbol for absolute value are 2 vertical bars on either side of the number, and that looks like this. So this is read as the absolute value of x. So how we read these, reading it and writing it, this is the sentence, the absolute value of -4 is 4. It's 4 units from 0, no matter the direction. The algebraic, or the numerical expression of that is read the same way. This reads, the absolute value of -4 is 4. So reading symbols in math. The absolute value of 4 is 4. Same thing, you read it with symbols as the absolute value of 4 is 4. So it says evaluates. This means find the value of the absolute value of -5, reading it out in sentence. So what I might do is plot -5 here and then count. How far is it from 0? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So the absolute value of -5 is 5. See if you can try one. The absolute value of 3. So how far is 3 from 0? 1, 2, 3 units. So the value is 3. It's that simple. So generally, if you have a number inside absolute value, it's going to be positive. How far from 0? No matter the direction. All right, evaluate. This means find the value of, like we've done before. So in this case, now you have to think about that absolute value is considered a grouping, so it falls under the P in PEMDAS. Okay? So it's grouping those numbers together. You have to do that part first. So here, the absolute value of 5 is 5 plus the absolute value of -6. -6 is 6 away from 0. Then order of operations, 5 plus 6 is 11. If that feels good, go ahead, pause, try on your own, and come back and check. We'll go down next because it's a little different. So then we have here again, this is a grouping, the absolute value of the difference between 5 and 3. So I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to do 5 minus 3, which is 2. So I'm looking for the absolute value of 2 plus the absolute value of 8 minus 10, which is a -2. So then the absolute value of 2, 2 is 2 from 0, -2 is 2 from 0. My answer should be 4. So go back and revisit that if you missed it. Next one, we are using our substitution. If we're given the value of n, first step is to plug it in, knowing these are vertical absolute value bars, not ones. The distance of -19 from 0 is 19. And then we get 10. Last one, we have 8 plus the absolute value of n, which is -12. So we have 8 plus the distance -12 is from 0, which is 12, for a total of 20. So that is absolute value and integers. See if you need to rewatch, revisit, check out someone else's math video if you want to, but the biggest thing is you practice and come with a good attitude. See you soon.